Alright, let's play this Mickey Mouse game. Wait, who is that? Anyways, what is happening? Kingdom Hearts is an action-adventure RPG game made by Square Enix in collaboration with Disney. It mixes the cool aesthetics of games like Final Fantasy with the friendly and magical atmospheres of Disney World. I know it sounds jarring at first, but the result of this combination has caused so many emotions in millions of people around the world. Happiness, sadness, awe, and definitely confusion. So you can imagine how 7-year-old me, who knew absolutely nothing about Square Enix, RPGs, or anything like that, reacted when I saw I'm sure many people have also experienced this exact situation whenever they first got into the series. So I want to go over my personal journey with this franchise and how I got back into the series a decade later. Part of the extreme confusion for me back then mainly originated from starting the franchise at an unconventional point. My first Kingdom Hearts game, if you couldn't tell already, was Kingdom Hearts Recoded, a Nintendo DS title. I have a pretty solid assumption as to why I even came across this franchise in general. I had a DS. My parents must have been looking at games for me somewhere. They stumbled on a game with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy on the cover and called it a day. I was a pretty big Mickey Mouse fan, so it's no surprise that I inevitably got my hands on this title. Recoded in the Kingdom Hearts timeline takes place after the events of Kingdom Hearts 2. So I was basically missing out on 2 entire games worth of context. And that's without counting the story of Chain of Memories as well, which also plays a huge role in Sora's story. Every Kingdom Hearts entry, as far as I know, has some sort of cinematic movie after being in the menu for around a minute or so. Recoded's movie shows the events of the past games, excluding Birth by Sleep, all in the span of like 3 minutes. That's hours of gameplay and story shown to little me in a short span of time. So confusion was something I remember feeling while I watched the cinematic, especially with the presumption that this game was about Mickey Mouse. One part of the movie though stuck with me. It was the beginning of the entire thing, when Sora said his final oath to nominate near the end of Chain of Memories.
Goodbye.
No, not goodbye. When I wake up, I'll find you. And then there will be no lies. We're gonna be friends for real. Promise me, Naminé.
I don't know what it was about that scene that made me remember it for so long. But if I had to guess, it was what Sora was actually saying to Naminé. I mean, even without context, it's clear that this moment was supposed to be a bittersweet one, with 2 characters possibly parting for a long time. It stirred up a somber emotion in my younger self. It was an introduction to this story trope for me, and wow, did it deliver. I will get into my comeback to the series later, but I wanted to mention now that whenever I reached that part of the story and heard Sora say those exact words with full context and everything, I genuinely in my mind went back to 2015 with my DS in my hands while I was sitting in the living room of my old house. I felt surreal. I felt like I just went full circle with my childhood self, and it was for sure a fulfilling moment for me. Moving on from the menu and actually going into the game itself, Recoded, correct me if I'm wrong, is all about going into a digital copy of Jiminy Cricket's journal as a digital version of Sora to find out the truth behind the mysterious message that appeared in the journal. It goes through basically the same worlds as Kingdom Hearts 1, except it's filled with bugs, glitches, all that digital stuff. The journey, like in KH1, begins with starting out in this place. It serves as a tutorial of the game, introducing you to all the mechanics and controls. For the DS though, it was unique in using the stylus and touchscreen to move the camera and navigate certain menus. I'll explain why in a bit, but it's a miracle that I managed to even get past this tutorial. I'm not even sure it's possible to game over during this part, but younger me, as you're about to see, was horrible at video games. Moving on from the tutorial, you end up in the small Destiny Islands. You know that nostalgic and strange feeling you get from looking at pictures of liminal spaces or old childhood pictures? That's the feeling I get whenever I think back to the recoded version of Destiny Islands. The never-ending ocean reaching the horizon, that small little nook that leads into Sora and Kyrie's Cave of Doodles, made me feel curious about the worlds of this game, and the music only adds to this effect. This is where my experience gets interesting. There were these glitch blocks scattered around the landscape, and I don't remember the exact details, but you had to use the blocks in some sort of way to reach the part of the island where Riku always was. That elevated island with the iconic slanted tree. Here's where my inexperience with video games shows. I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out how to get onto that island. I'm pretty sure there was literally a bridge connecting that island to where I was, but for some reason I never figured it out. Looking back, this was definitely a moment where I just couldn't help but think, was I really that blind? Recently, throughout the school year, I had used my school-assigned laptop for stuff like assignments, work, and of course, gaming in class. I found this website with a bunch of downloadable games ranging from your typical HTML games to old school Tetris. Weirdly enough, there was a DS section on the website. I was amazed just thinking of the possibility of playing Mario Kart DS on my school laptop. So I scrolled through the games and found Mario Kart. I played a bit, but after that, I was curious about what other games the website had. So I kept scrolling, and there it was, Kingdom Hearts Recoded. I figured that since I used to own this game and remember not being able to get past the first world, I will try it again and see if it was really that hard. I remember playing through and finally getting to the point where I struggled. This was it. The island was in view and the blocks were there. All I needed to do was get up to the island. I proceeded to do all that in less than a minute. I genuinely can't believe that I struggled with that as a kid. But to be honest, I'm kind of grateful that I did. By being stuck there, I unintentionally sparked a fuse of curiosity in my childhood self, wondering what happens up there, who's up there, and if what was up there explained whatever I saw in the menu cinematic. Fast forward a decade later, turns out that going up there just progresses you. I kept playing throughout the school year and managed to get to Hollow Bastion. Unfortunately, however, I couldn't finish the game because the school laptop that I was using decided to just stop working. I don't know what happened. I swear the Wi-Fi button just disappeared or something, and I couldn't connect to the web or anything like that. So it was wraps after that. I didn't stop there though. After seeing what I had missed out on for the past 10 years of my life, I had to find out the true context of the game. Sure, I was older now and I understood what was happening in Recoded, but I really couldn't enjoy it fully without the context of the previous games. So around 2 or 3 months ago, I bought Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix on my Xbox to finally delve into this franchise. Playing through KH1 and seeing the worlds I went through on the emulator with the low resolution screen of the school laptop, finally in HD or whatever the quality of my TV is, was so satisfying. I finally got to see the origins of Sora, hear the beauty of Yoko Shimomura's songs, and play the hack and slash style of Kingdom Hearts. Currently, I'm playing through Birth by Sleep, and to my surprise, that's where the gimmick of the entire command deck that Recoded uses originates from. I recently went through the instruction manual that came with the DS copy of Recoded just to see if I finally had the context to understand the characters and lore that the manual featured, and seeing Terra, Aqua, Ventus, and Xehanort on the pages here made me think, damn, these characters were here all along. I don't know, it just feels neat finally understanding who these characters were. I'm loving the series so far, and I can't wait to move on to 2.8 and finally Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm really curious to see what the updated graphics of Unreal Engine will look like on Kingdom Hearts, especially after being used to the PlayStation 2 graphics for so long. I refrained from seeing gameplay of KH3, but the same cannot be said for the Kingdom Hearts 4 teaser. Once again, the curiosity in me is going crazy, wondering why Sora looks so realistic now, and why he appears to be in the real world. But, like how I did with starting the series, I'll have to keep playing to find out. I'm excited to see more of the epic moments, more of the sad moments, and more of the lore-heavy moments that this franchise has to offer. If you watched until the end, thank you so much. I find it crazy that I'm able to say so much about a game where Mickey looks like this.
Did somebody mention the door to darkness?
If you enjoyed this video, consider liking it, and if you really want to, subscribe. This is my first time making this style of content, and I hope to be able to talk more about the games I love. Anyways.
Goodbye.